The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Mark.
Glory to you, O Lord.
Jesus withdrew toward the sea with his disciples. A large number of people followed from Galilee and from Judea. Hearing what he was doing, a large number of people came to him also from Jerusalem, from Idumea, from beyond the Jordan, and from the neighborhood of Tyre and Sidon. He told his disciples to have a boat ready for him because of the crowd, so that they would not crush him. He had cured many, and as a result, those who had diseases were pressing upon him to touch him. And whenever unclean spirits saw him, they would fall down before him and shout, "You are the Son of God." He warned them sternly not to make him known. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
Dear brothers and sisters, good morning.
Good morning, Father.
The Gospel that we have just proclaimed and heard is from Mark chapter 3, verses 7 to 12. And this is about Jesus' popularity. Large crowds would follow him. Big crowd would also anticipate his coming. If we are to describe the big crowds that follow Jesus, we can say that he was more or less like a rock star. Alam naman natin kapag artista o kaya isang sikat na singer, people would idolize them. And this is the stature of Jesus at this time. And as described to us by St. Mark, a large number of people followed from Galilee and from Judea. They were hearing what he was doing. A large people came to him also from Jerusalem, from Idumea, from beyond the Jordan, and from the neighborhood of Tyre and Sidon. Tyre and Sidon, by the way, these are pagan territories. So this is the kind of audience that the Lord was attracting. And what did the Lord do? Anong ginawa ng ating Panginoon? Well, Mark tells us that he cured many. And those who had diseases, they wanted to touch him. So talagang hindi sila kontentado na makita lang ang Panginoon. They also would like to have him touch them, or they would even want to touch them. And remember, one of the beneficiaries of the healing of Jesus was a woman from Syrophoenicia, around this territory. She was suffering from an illness that no one can cure, nagdurugo. But she said to herself, if I could only touch the tassel of his cloak, I will be healed. And she did. She was able to touch the tassel of the clothes of the Lord. So ito po yung paniniwala ng mga tao. They really wanted him to do something for them. And the most amazing thing is, even unclean spirits, they would come to him. They recognize him. And they would even fall before him. They would shout, "You are the Son of God." Parang nakakapangilabot po ito because we know that there are popular preachers and even healers during our time who could be like Jesus. Large crowds would congregate, they would anticipate even their coming. Even the late Father Suarez is a beneficiary of these crowds. I remember one of my in-laws, she passed away 7 years ago. She was suffering from breast cancer, and the my family told me, si Mama, she would like to be there wherever Father would be. So I think with the family bringing her, nakakarating siya doon sa mga healing sessions ni Father Suarez. And we know that Father Suarez did heal so many people. But you know, when we look at this, the focus is really faith on the Lord and belief in Him and His power, that even unclean spirits recognize. I have some quotes here of people who did not believe. They even ridiculed the Lord. One of them is John Lennon, my idol. Of course, one of the Beatles, a very talented composer and also singer. But, you know, the Beatles broke up in the early 70s. So ito po yung pangyayari. He was interviewed by an American magazine. You know what he said? Christianity will end. It will disappear. I don't have to argue. I'm sure. Jesus was all right, but his subjects were too simple. And this was in 1966. And he said, we are better known today than he is. In fact, the word that he uttered when he came here together with the Beatles in 1966, the president and Imelda, I think, they wanted to have audience with them. He refused. Ano sabi ni John Lennon, we are more popular than Jesus. What happened to John Lennon? If you know, walking on the streets of New York, he was shot to death. He was assassinated. Did Christianity diminish or falter? No. John Lennon passed away. He died. And this one is another. A president of Brazil, the name is Tancredo Neves. During the presidential campaign, he said, sabi niya, if he receives 500,000 votes from his party, not even God could remove him from the presidency. He bragged about this. Talaga naman, he got the votes. He got elected. But he got sick the day before he was president. Then he died. So ito po yung mga tao. But you know, there's another one. I would just mention 3 persons. The Brazilian bisexual poet, during the program, one of the programs in Canetio in Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, while he was smoking his cigarette, he spilled some smoke up in the air. Alam niyo naman, yung mga naninigarilyo, di ba? And you know what he said? God, this is for you. And what happened? He died at age 32 from lung cancer in a horrible way. Lastly, the maker of the Titanic, we all know this boat. After the Titanic was built, he was asked by the reporter, how sure are you that the Titanic will be unsinkable? In an ironic tone, he said, not even God can sink it. What happened? Inaugural journey of the Titanic on the North Sea, it hit an iceberg. It sank. The unsinkable sank, killing many people. So let's turn to the Lord. His power is beyond our own comprehension. But if we believe, miracles will happen. Jesus, the divine healer,
Have mercy on us.